Pfizer Company. Company type public. Industry pharmaceutical biotechnology. Founded 1849, 175 years ago in New York City. Founder Charles Pfizer. Charles F. Earhart. Headquarters the Spiral, New York City, US. Area surveyed worldwide. Key people Albert Boulder, CEO. Product pharmaceutical drugs vaccine. Revenue 58.5 billion 2022. Operating income 2.17 billion 2022. Net income 2.12 billion 2023. Total asset 226.5 billion 2023. Total equity 89.01 billion 2023. Number of employee 88,000 2023. Pfizer Inc. is an American multinational pharmaceutical and biotechnology corporation headquartered at the Spiral in Manhattan, New York City. The company was established in 1849 in New York by two German entrepreneurs, Charles Pfizer (1825 to 1906) and his cousin Charles F. Earhart (1821 to 1891). Pfizer developed and products medicine and vaccine for immunology, oncology, cardiology, endocrinology, and neurology. The company's largest product by sales are the Pfizer BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine, 11 billion in 2023 revenue. Epic 6 billion in 2023 revenue. A promenococcal conjugate vaccine 6 billion in 2023 revenue. Palbociclib 4 billion in 2023 revenue. San tafamidis 3 billion in 2023 revenue. San tafamidis 3 billion in 2023 revenues. In 2023, 46% of the company's revenue came from the United States, 6% came from Japan, and 48% came from other countries. The company ranked 38 on the Forbes 500 list and 39 on the Forbes Global 2000. Pfizer was founded in 1849 as Charles Pfizer and Company by Charles Pfizer and Charles F. Earhart, two cousins who had immigrated to the United States from Ludwigsburg, Germany. The company product chemical product and was headquartered on Bartle Street in Williamsburg, New York, where they product an antiparasitic called Santonic. This was an immediate success, although it was production of citric acid that led to Pfizer growth in the 1880s. Pfizer continued to buy property in the area by the Williamsburg district of the city of Brooklyn, New York, and beginning in 1898 the city of Greater New York to explain its lab and factory remaining officer on Flushing Avenue Unit. The 1916 the Brooklyn plant ultimately closed in 2009 following their success with citric acid. Pfizer at the new Demolition 295 Washington Avenue and Earhart at 218 Washington Avenue established their main residence in the nearby Clinton Hall district, known for its concentration of Gilded Age wealth. In 1881, Pfizer moved its administration headquarters to 81 Maiden Lane in Manhattan, presaging the company's expansion to Chicago a year later. By 1906, sales exceeded 3 million. World War I caused a shortage of calcium citrate. Pfizer imported the compound from Italy for the manufacture of citric acid, and due to the disruption in supply, the company began a search for an alternative. They found this in the form of the fungus capable of fermenting sugar to citric acid. By 1919, the company was able to commercialize production of citric acid from this source. The company developed expertise in fermentation technology. As a result, those skills were applied to the deep submergence mass production of penicillin, an antibiotic, during World War II in response to the need to treat injured elevate solidaries. The company also embarked on a global soil collection program related to improving production yield of penicillin, which ultimately resulted in 135,000 samples. On June 2, 1942, the company incorporated under the Delaware General Corporation Law. Due to the decline for penicillin, Pfizer searched for new antibiotic with greater profit potential. Pfizer discovered Waxter Clinic in 1950s, and this changed the company from a manufacturer of fine chemical to a research-based pharmaceutical company. Pfizer developed a drugs discovery program focused on in vitro synergistic to augment its research in fermentation technology. In 1959, the company established an animal health division with a 700-acre 2.8 km square farm and research facility in Terre Haute, Indiana. By the 1950s, Pfizer had established offices in Belgium, Brazil, Canada, Cuba, Mexico, Panama, Puerto Rico, and the United Kingdom. In 1916, the company moved its medical research laboratory operation out of New York City to a new facility in Groton, Connecticut. In 1918, Pfizer launched Feldane piroxicam, a prescription anti-inflammatory medication that became Pfizer's first product to reach $1 billion in revenue. In 1965, John Power Jr. became Chief Executive Officer of the company, succeeding John M.C. Kane. As the area surrounding its Brooklyn plant fell into decline in the 1970s and 1980s, the company formed a public-private partnership with the New York City that encompasses the construction of low and middle-income housing, the refurbishment of the apartment building for the homeless, and the establishment of a charter school. In 1972, Edmund Pett Jr. became Chief Executive Officer of the company, succeeding John Power Jr. In 1981, the company received approval for Diflocan, the first oral treatment for several fungal infection including Candidiasis, blistococcosis, coccidioidomycosis, cryptococcosis, hepatoplasmosis, dermatosis, and pityrosis versicolor. In 1986, Pfizer acquired the worldwide right to Zithromax, a macrolide antibody that is recommended by the Infectious Diseases Society of America as a first-time treatment for certain causes of community-acquired pneumonia from Pilivia. In 1989, Pfizer scientists Peter Dunn and Albert Wood created Vigra for treating high blood pressure and angina, a chest pain associated with coronary artery disease. In 1991, it was patented in the United Kingdom as a heart medication. Early trial for the medicine show that it did not work for the treatment of heart disease, but voluntary in the clinical trial had increased electrons several days after taking the drug. It was It was patented in the United States in 1996 and received approval by the Food and Drugs Administration in March 1998. In December 1998, Pfizer hired Bob Dole as a spokesperson for the drug. The parent for Pfizer explained in 2020. In 1991, William C. Sterzier became chief executive officer of the company, succeeding Edmund T. Peter Zier. In 1991, Pfizer also began marketing Zoloft, an antidepressant of the selective serotonin reputed inhibitor SSRI class, development 9 years earlier by Pfizer chemist Kenneth Quay and Weird Wealth. Sertraline is primarily prescribed for major depression disorder in adult outpatient as well as obsession compulsive disorder, panic disorder, and social anxiety disorder in both adult and children. In 2005, the year before it became a generic drug, sales were over 3 billion and over 100 million people had been treated with the drugs. The patent for Zoloft expired in the summer of 2006. In 1996, Eisai, in partnership with Pfizer, received approval from the Food and Drugs Administration for donepezil under the brand Arcept for treatment of Alzheimer's disease. Pfizer also received approval for Norvasc, and anti-hypertension drug of the diropridine calcium channel blocker class. In 1997, the company entered into a co-marketing agreement with Warner Lambert for Lipitor, a statin for the treatment of hypercholesterolemia. Walter atorvastatin was the fifth statin to be developed. Clinical trials showed that atorvastatin causes a more dramatic reduction in low density lipoprotein patency LDLC that the other statin drug. Upon its patent expiration in 2011, Lipitor was the best-selling drug ever, with approximately 125 billion in sales over 14.5 years. In 2001, Henry McCallan became CEO, Chief Executive Officer of the company, replacing William C. Sterzier in 2002. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation processed a stock in Pfizer. In 2004, the company received approval for Lyrica, an anticonvulsant and antioxidant medication used to treat epilepsy, neuropathic pain, fibromyalgia, restless leg syndrome, and generalized anxiety disorder. The United States patent on Lyrica was challenged by generic manufacturing and was upheld in 2014, extending the expiration date to 2028. In July 2006, Jeff Candler was named Chief Executive Officer of the company, replacing Henry McCallan. On December 3, 2006, Pfizer craze development of torsaprative drug that increase production of HDL, which reduct LDL thought to be correlative, which reducts LDL thought to be correlated to disaster. during a phase 3 clinical trial involving 50,000 patients. More deaths than expected occurred in the group that took the medicine, and the mortality rate of patient taking the combination of torcepatab and Lipitor 18 to date during the study was 60% higher than those taking Lipitor alone. 52 date during the study. Lipitor alone was not implicated in the result, but Pfizer lost nearly 1 billion developing the failed drug, and its stock price dropped 11% on the day of the announcement. Between 2007 and 2010, Pfizer spent 3.3 million on investigation and legal fees and recovered about 5.1 million, and had another 5 million of pending received from civil lawsuit against market of counterfeit prescription drugs. Pfizer has hired custom and narcotic expert worldwide to track down fake and assemble evidence that can be used to pursue civil suit for trademark infringement. In July 2008, Pfizer announced 275 job cards at its manufacturing facility in Portage, Michigan. Portage was previously the world headquarters of Upjohn Company, which had been acquired as part of Pharmacia. In June 2000, Pfizer acquired Warner Lambert outright for $116 billion to satisfy conditions imposed by antitrust regulator at the Federal Trade Commission. Pfizer sold off or transferred a stake in several minor products, including RID, a shampoo for treatment of headlines, sold to Bayer, and Warner Lambert anti-depressant Celexa, which competes with Zoloft. The acquisition created what was at the time the second largest pharmaceutical company worldwide. In 2003, Pfizer merged with Pharmacia, and in the process acquired Cheryl and Susan. Cheryl had developed Fle, antibiotic medication used particularly for aerobic bacteria and protozoa. In October 2006, the company announced it would acquire PowerMed. On October 15, 2009, Pfizer acquired Wealth for $68 billion in cash and stock, including the assumption of debt, making Pfizer the largest pharmaceutical company in the world. The acquisition of Wealth provide Pfizer with an pneumococcal conjugate vaccine trademark Prevnar 13. This is used for the prevention of invasive pneumococcal infection. The introduction of the original 7-valent version of the vaccine developed by Wells in February 2000 led to a 75% reduction in the incidence of invasive pneumococcal infection among children under age 5 in the United States. Pfizer introduced an improved version of the vaccine in 2010, for which it was granted a patent in India in 2017. Prevnar 13 provides coverage of 30 bacterial variant, expanding by one the original 7-valent version. By 2012, the rate of invasive infection among children under age 5 had been reduced by an additional 50%. In 2010, Lan Reed was named Chief Executive Officer of the company. In February 2011, Pfizer announced the closure of its UK research and development facility, formerly was a manufacturing plant in Sandwich, Kent, which at the time employed 2,400 people. In March 2011, Pfizer acquired King Pharmaceuticals for 3.6 billion in cash. King products emergency injectionable such as the EpiPen. On September 4, 2012, the FDA approved bosutinib for chronic mycosis CML, a rate of type of leukemia and a blood and bone marrow disease that affect primarily older adults. In November 2012, Pfizer received approval from the Food and Drug Administration for Zen a tofacitinib for rheumatoid arthritic and ulcerative colitis. The drug has sold 1.77 billion in 2018, and in January 2019 it was the top drug in the United States for direct to consumer advertising, passing adalimumab on February 1, 2013. Zoetis, the architecture division of Pfizer and later Pfizer Animal Health, became a public company by an initial public offering raising 2.2 billion. Later in 2013, Pfizer completed the corporate spin-off of its remaining stake in Zoetis. In September 2014, the company acquired Pharma for 225 million plus up to 135 million in milestone payment in deal that expanded Pfizer range of generic and injectable drug. On January 5, 2015, the company announced it would acquire a controlling interest in Redvax, expanding its vaccine portfolio targeting human cytomegalovirus. In February 2015, the company received approval from the Food and Drugs Administration for palbociclib for treatment of the certain type of breast cancer. In March 2015, the company announced it would restart its collaboration with Eli Lilly and Company surrounding the phase 3 trial of tanezumab. In May 2015, Pfizer and a Bar-Ilan University laboratory announced a partnership based on the development of medical DNA nanotechnology. In June 2015, the company acquired Ninmenarix and Mansevax meningococcal vaccine from GlaxoSmithKline for around 113 million. In September 2015, Pfizer acquired Hosperia for 17 billion, including the assumption of debt. Hosperia was the largest producer of generic injectable pharmaceutical in the world. On November 2015, Pfizer and Allergan announced a planning 116 million merger in the largest pharmaceutical deal ever and the third largest corporate merger in history. The proposed transaction contemplate that the merged company maintain Allergan Republic of Ireland domiciled, resulting in the new company being subject to corporate tax at the relatively low rate of 12.5%. The deal was to constitute a reserve merger whereby Allergan acquired Pfizer with the new company then changing its name to Pfizer plc. On April 6, 2016, Pfizer and Allergan terminated the merger agreement after the Obama administration and the United States Department of the Treasury introduced new laws intended to limit corporate inversion, the extent to which companies could move their headquarters overseas in order to reduce the amount of taxes they pay. In June 2016, the company acquired Anacor Pharmaceutical for 5.2 billion, expanding its portfolio in both inflammation and immunology drugs area. In August 2016, the company made a 40 million bid for the assets of Blind Therapeutics, who was in bankruptcy the same month. The company acquired Bamboo Therapeutics for 645 million, expanding its gene therapy offering. In September 2016, the company acquired cancer drug maker Medivation for 14 billion. In October 2016, the company licensed the anti-CTLA for monoclonal antibody ONC392 from Oncolom. In November 2016, Pfizer funded a 3 crore 40 3,05,600 study with the CDC Foundation to research a skin and trade strategy for cryptococcal disease in Botswana. In December 2016, Pfizer acquired AstraZeneca, a small molecule antibody business, for 1.575 billion. In January 2018, Pfizer announced that it would end its work on research into treatment for Alzheimer's disease and Parkinsonism, a symptom of Parkinson's disease and other conditions. The company said about 300 researchers would lose their job. In January 2018, the Food and Drugs Administration approved enzalutamide, developed by Pfizer and Acerlas Pharma for patients with castration-resistant prostate cancer. In August 2018, Pfizer signed an agreement with biotech to conduct joint research and development activities regarding mRNA-based influenza vaccine. In October 2018, effective January 1, 2019, Albert Blora was promoted to Chief Executive Officer, succeeding Len Reed, his mentor. In July 2019, the company acquired Theracon for up to 810 million, expanding its rare disease portfolio through Theracon recombinant human fibroblast growth factor receptor 3 compound aimed at treating conditions such as. Also in July, Pfizer acquired Arrow Biopharma for 10.6 billion, boosting its oncology pipeline. In August 2019, Pfizer merged its consumer health business with that of GlaxoSmithKline into a joint venture owned 68% by GlaxoSmithKline and 32% by Pfizer, with plan to make it public company. The transaction built on a 2018 transaction where GlaxoSmithKline acquired Novartis' stake in the GSK Novartis consumer healthcare joint businesses. The transaction followed negotiation with other companies including Reckitt Benckiser, Sanofi, Johnson & Johnson, and Procter & Gamble. In September 2019, Pfizer initiated a study with the CDC Foundation to investigate the tracking of healthcare association inspection, scheduled to run through to June 2023. In December 2019, Pfizer awarded the CDC Foundation a further 1 crore 94 lakh 8,482 to continue its cryptococcal disease increased screening and treatment research in 9 African countries. In March 2020, Pfizer joined the COVID-19 pandemic therapeutic accelerator funding vaccine vehicle to expedite development of treatment against COVID-19. The 125 million initiative was launched by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation in partnership with MasterCard and Wellcome Trust, with additional funding announced shortly after. The chain Zuckerberg initiated UK Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office and Manona the following month. The Foundation for the National Institute of Health announced the Acceleration COVID-19 Therapeutic Intervention and Vaccine ACTIV public-private partnership to develop a coordinated research strategy for prioritize and speeding up development of COVID-19 vaccine and pharmaceutical product. Pfizer joined the partnership as an industry leadership organization and participated as a collaborator in ACTIV-led clinical trials. CEO Albert Bourla attended the GAVI COVAX AMC 2021 Investment Opportunity Launch Event, otherwise named on World, promoted on April 15, 2021 in Canada. Pfizer endorsed the use of a vaccine passport mobile app developed by communalize in order to record the track status of COVID-19 vaccination. As the scale of the COVID-19 pandemic became apparent, Pfizer partnered with biotech to study the develop COVID-19 mRNA vaccine candidate. Unlike many of its competitors, Pfizer took no initial research fund from the United States Operation Warp Speed vaccine development program, instead choosing to invest roughly $2 billion of its own fund. Pfizer CEO Albert Bourla has said that he declined money from Operation Warp Speed to avoid government intervention, starting later that when you get money from someone, that always come with sterling. They want to see how we are going to progress, what type of move you are going to do. They want a report. And also, I wanted to keep Pfizer out of policies. By the way, in May 2020, Pfizer began testing for different COVID-19 vaccine variation using lipid nanoparticle technology provided by Canadian biotechnology company Acuitas Therapeutic vaccine via injection into the first human participation in the UK in early May. In July 2020, Pfizer and biotech announced that two of the partner for mRNA vaccine candidate had won fast track designation from the FDA. The company began phase 2/3 testing on 30,000 people in the last week of July 2020 and was slated to be paid $1.95 billion for 100 million doses of the vaccine by the US government. In September 2020, Pfizer and biotech announced that they had completed talk with the European Commission to provide an initial 200 million vaccine doses, the EU with the option to supply another 100 million doses at a later date. On November 9, 2020, Pfizer announced that biotech COVID-19 vaccine tested 43,500 people was found to be 19% effective at preventing symptomatic COVID-19. The efficiency was uploaded to 95% a week later. Akiko Wasiki, an immunologist interviewed by the New York Times, described the efficacy figure as really a spectacular number. The announcement made Pfizer and biotechnology the first companies to develop and test a working vaccine for COVID-19. Over the following month, a hub regulator in various countries approved Pfizer's vaccine for emergency use. in February 2021. After a year-long investigation replying on unnamed official, Pfizer was accused by the Bureau of Investigation Journalism (TBIJ) of employing high-level buying against at least two Latin American countries during negotiation to accurate COVID-19 vaccine, including requesting that the countries put sovereign assets. Thanks for watching this video.